Hey, what's happening? Lee's Love Language, back at it again. I have a real topic that I think a lot of people deal with, just family-wise. I believe that this topic here could be very sensitive, just because it's dealing with relatives in general. But have you all ever felt like the family dynamics that you have is not really family? Like, in other words, I'm gonna put it in terms like my cousin said one time. He said, I have relatives, but I have family as well. And that resonated with me, and that's real, because relatives means that you may be related to somebody that you particularly don't know. But family could mean that you're not really related to that person, but you look at them like family. You know, you can possibly be related to that person and also look at family, because it just boils down to relationships. So with that being said, I believe family is when you really have genuine relationships with one another. Just because you may share the same mother or the same father, or, you know, y'all cousins or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that you are family. You know, if you don't have that dynamic relationship, then you just a relative. So at the end of the day, family is very important, whether if you related to one another or not. Like, I have friends that I have been knowing since I was in school, and I look at them as family. We're not related, don't share the same blood, but they are family. And it's just because the relationship we have established throughout the years. So with that being said, I think people got to stop looking at you being related to somebody. That means that you are family. Because if you don't have that relationship with one another, then genuinely you are not family. You just related. So I think that a lot of people look at it in a point of view of, say for instance, if you get married to a person and y'all have a blended family, right? Just because, you know, y'all have a blended family, that doesn't mean that y'all cannot become family, you know? And I think a lot of people look at that like, oh, well, that person don't have my DNA, then they not family. That's not the truth. And it's really a sad situation when people have that type of mindset, that just because, you know, y'all don't share the same DNA, that, you know, y'all not family. Nah, couldn't be so far from the truth. And so I kind of like deal with that situation. And personally, you know, when it comes to, you know, my family, when it comes to whether it's my father and my mother, not saying they bad people, but I think sometimes, you know, even like you have some people that just with that mindset that, you know, well, you know, if you don't have my DNA, then, you know, I guess we not family, quote unquote. But I just thank God that I haven't adopted that, because I have really, you know, adopted when it comes to, you know, my kids. You know, our oldest child, you know, it's my wife, my wife child. But when I met my wife, he was a kid, he was a child, you know. And so I look at him as my son, you know. So it's no difference or whatever, because now we established relationship throughout the years, and, you know, he called me Pops and he's my son. So at the end of the day, you know, I don't think that people should look at that in that certain type of way. You know, I think it's just really discrediting the point of really having family, people who genuinely love you and care for you. So, you know, at the end of the day, and that's not how God looks at things too, because that's another thing. we have to look at things in a different perspective, like how God looks at things. And how God view things, he look at people in general as family. Whoever accept him for who he is and that he's God, and he loves everybody the same. But when you accept his son, Jesus, and you accept Jesus or who he is and what he has done, then you are part of the family. He's not looking at it in a perspective like how human beings look at it. So I just believe that we just got to continue to get that type of stigma when it comes to who's really family, So at the end of the day, whoever's watching this video, whether if you have friends, relatives, but you have genuine relationships with them, they are family to you, okay? And whether if you marry somebody and they already have kids, they are family now. You look at those kids like your kids, at the end of the day. So I think it's very important. And I just want to get y'all feedback. What do y'all think when it comes to family? Do you think that just because y'all share the same DNA that y'all family or y'all relatives? And the ones who don't share the DNA, do you look at them still family? I mean, because let's face it, because it's a lot of, even females or whatever that, and males that been friends with, with their friends for a long time, and they look at them as family, So I just really think that people just got to just get a different view when it comes to who's really family in your lives. Because I have relatives that I don't know, but that's who they are. They just relatives. I don't know them. I don't have a personal relationship with them. And that's no shade or anything, but it's just the truth, So what do y'all think about this when it comes to who's family? Lee's love language. Back at it again. That's one.